back to the Second and Short podcast where the entire playbook is open. My name is Jacob.
I'm Eli.
No, I'm Hayden.
Is that your first intro?
Nah, man.
Nah,
We've been here before.
I guess the two.
Yeah, we've been here before.
Maybe your first intro while I'm here.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Free agency fully underway. We have not uploaded last week's episode because Hayden was busy with other stuff. We also do not have visual because Hayden deleted it on accident. Hayden had an interesting week, so we're going to be posting both the audio for this episode and last week's episode. There will not be a visual. Our apologies. Without further ado, though, we're going to get back to what we did a couple weeks ago. Me, Eli, and Josie. This time, Naples and Josie swapping out as Eli's countdown on remainder of the podcast. Next week, probably last week. Technically, this could be the last one, depending on what his schedule looks like next week. We're going to be redrafting the first round of the 2024 draft. We redrafted 2025's first round. That was fun. And once again, I'll be doing all of these individually on TikTok. Me and Josie, we're going to knock some out together as well. But we did it as a team, the three of us redrafting draft class that seemingly has a chance to go down as one of the historic quarterback draft classes. A reminder, the way we do it, or at least try to do it, is whatever the draft order is or was that Thursday of the first round, that initial draft night. Any draft day trades that happened, so the Vikings were pretty active in this draft, we do not count that. If we were doing the 2023 draft, the Texans would only have the second overall pick, not the third overall pick, where they ended up getting Will Anderson as well. Without further ado, let's get right into it. This was one of the unanimous picks of really quite some time. Yeah. Chicago trying to get the generational talent. Caleb Williams, I believe Naples is on the clock.
Yeah.
And Naples, is Caleb Williams going to be the pick here as well?
With the first pick in the 2024 Second and Short redraft
of 2026.
The Chicago Bears are keeping Caleb Williams. I just think he fits what they want to do really well. He's shown a lot of progress from year one to year two. All of the magic moments they had this last season, him and Ben Johnson, you can just see that the sky's the limit for those two. I have a lot of belief in the Bears, a lot of Bears stock. Won me some money with a, futures bet with Josie. Always been bear down. And I think Caleb's their guy. I just don't think that, I don't know if Drake May would do as good there. And I also don't, I don't know how Jaden Daniels would fit there, especially all of the struggles that, Caleb went through in year one with that roster. I just don't know how, even though those two's rosters weren't as good, Jaden Daniels with the Commanders in year one made it to the NFC Championship game. Drake May, obviously, year two makes it to the Super Bowl. I think those guys are in their spots for reasons, and I don't know if it would exactly play out that way otherwise.
This is where it kind of be fun, because it's the Bears probably still hire Ben Johnson if they get Jaden, because Ben Johnson was by far the best available.
Yeah.
But that would just be such an awkward fit with Jaden Daniels and Ben Johnson at the same time. I don't think that works out nearly as well. I think you have an argument for Drake, but not for Jaden.
Yeah,
with Ben Johnson.
With any of these quarterbacks, it's going to come down to coaching staff. Obviously, Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels hit it off. Josh McDaniels and Drake May hit it off. Caleb Williams this year hit it off with Ben Johnson. I think Caleb still has the highest ceiling.
Yeah.
Drake May definitely has shown more through 2 seasons, and Jaden Daniels probably has as well, just from that rookie year alone. With that said, I think Caleb was viewed as and is a generational prospect for what we've all seen here in the early stages of his career. So that one, a little bit of a question mark, just because, like we said, Drake May and Jaden Daniels have shown a lot of good things through their first 2 seasons. With the second overall pick, the Commies, Jaden Daniels still on the board. Eli, you're up, I believe, right?
Yeah, I had some mental debate with this one, but it came down to the situation again. I think it's tough. Looking back at this past year, I think a year ago, Jaden Daniels might be the number 1 overall pick if we're doing this redraft in March 2025, and he's definitely number 2. I was thinking about Drake here, but I am going to keep with Jaden here. The injury is tough. There's no chance Drake May, in my opinion, gets to the NFC Championship game in his rookie year like
Yeah.
Jaden could. Obviously, the injuries aren't great, so there was a little back and forth in my head of do I push Drake up here to 2. The commies, obviously, it's Drake or Jaden here. Maybe you can throw in Bo if you want to have some fun, but it's still quarterback. I'm gonna stick with Jaden here just for the fit, and hope that he can get healthy.
All right, so chalk so far. I'm up with the Patriots, correct? And we're off to a boring start here. I thought that Drake May was going to go in one of the top 2 spots, which would have made things interesting because I actually think that there is a conversation for Bo over Jaden for a few different reasons. I think Bo's going to be able to last in the league longer. Jaden's playing style and physique is not one that I think is going to stand the grips of time. We started to see that already in his sophomore year. Drake May, though, he was my number 1 quarterback coming out of this draft class, and he had New England back in the Super Bowl in year 2. He arguably was the MVP of the season. We're staying chalk here. Drake May, number 3 to the Pats.
Yeah. And this is where we get our first switch of the draft with Arizona on the clock.
Not going to be your boy, Marvin?
I'm a Marv stan. I still believe in Marv. I think that he's been done wrong by situation. But you cannot doubt the production that Neighbors has had over him over the first couple years. Now, this is a redraft, so hypothetically, Malik Neighbors doesn't blow his entire leg out in Arizona, and maybe he's healthy for the 2025 season and puts up another great year as he did in 24 with him and Kyler seemingly. I know Kyler's kind of in and out, but him and Kyler could be just as electric as he was doing with Jameis and Russ. So, or was it Russ and then who was the year before?
Year before would have been DJ for a little bit, and then combination of Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock.
Yeah, so that whole quarterback situation. So I think they get their number 1 receiver that they've been looking for since they had D-Hop, kinda. He was good there, but kinda past his prime a little bit. So I think Malik Neighbors is gonna be the pick here.
I was wondering if you were gonna stick with quarterback here. I know you're not a huge Bo guy, but I was wondering maybe you just get out ahead of the Kyler Murray thing.
And that's where it's kind of tough of where was the situation then versus where is it now. But it's not like Kyler it was going perfectly then either, but obviously it was going better then than now.
Yeah, and I think maybe you get a guy like Neighbors in there who has more production. Maybe they do more things. Maybe Kyler, shows a little more, I don't know, butterfly effect. And I don't think that Bo Nix, I'm not a Bo guy, but I think he specifically, the Broncos were the only team really that was taking him in the first round. That was Sean Payton's guy. That was the most unkept secret of this draft is that was his guy. He loved him. The Broncos wanted him, and they took him.
So our first change up here in the top 4, 5th overall, the Giants, right? And
this is Chargers.
Chargers, and it's me. All right, well, ill-prepared Hayden. They ended up trading back in real life and getting Joe Alt, which honestly might end up being the pick here. Joe Alt, a guy I'm super high on. He's had, honestly, with a lot of these guys, they had great rookie years, and then their second year was a little bit injury prone.
Yeah.
And
a ton.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, we already had
sophomore slumps or injuries.
We already had a few of them: Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt. Pulling up their 2024 depth chart here. They had a good draft class because Joe Alt and Ladd McConkey, technically both of those guys could go here. Joe Alt would have the leverage just due to positional value, playing the 3rd most valuable position in sports. Pro Football Reference doing their stupid verification thing that they just started doing a month ago. Come on, losing ground to stall here. All right.
You know you won, Joe.
I do.
Yeah.
But Joe's just very much a Jim Harbaugh kind of guy.
Just like you.
Very much like me.
The Giants on the clock.
Yeah.
Are you going Joe?
Hold on.
I thought you said Joel.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
I don't think any of the other linemen are better than him, unless you're going in a different direction
Okay.
here. Brock Bowers, another one of your guys. Maybe the Chargers go get themselves a force.
You got to do Joel. You got to protect him. McConkey, MJH, MHJ, and Jared Verse all kind of made sense. Jared Verse pairing him up with Khalil Mack, and then eventually with Thule, that would have been intriguing. But no, Joe Alt's going to be the pick here.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it's gone so well, it's hard not to, outside of the injury, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's an obvious pick here and a good one. Next up, Giants. Malik Neighbors, first time that picking with a guy that's been taken already. I'm gonna go with. So here's my question:
Bo Nix?
do we know what happens?
Like,
Is
do you
this
know,
a
like,
20
if they
do-
like end up getting Jackson Dart and
Yes.
they love him, I would say
No, because
you
butterfly effect.
Right.
assume like we're picking players based
In
on we know
2024.
yeah, but we know that like where their career's kind of at now, so we
Right.
use that, but don't
But also,
But don't
pick
use
based off
future
don't
additions.
pick
Right.
based because like you could be like, all right, they take Bo Nix here, maybe in next year's class they get Bo Nix another weapon there or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Brian Dable, he didn't have enough time to work with Dart. He showed good things with Dart, but he only got a few games this year, and they weren't winning, so
Yeah.
ended up losing it. So if you're Brian Dable, you have the chance to go grab Bo Nix.
I'm going Bo Nix.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the obvious pick here.
Quarterback non-pick high guy.
Dude, you should have seen 2 weeks ago. I had like the first 3 picks, I think, and
Yeah.
I chose all quarterbacks
Dang.
because it's a redraft. Redraft. This is kind of the tough thing with redrafts is they're fun, but like quarterbacks are the ones that stand out the most.
yeah.
Like Joe Alt's been amazing. Also have the injury for like the 10th time, but quarterbacks stand out, and I think obviously the Giants needed a quarterback at this time.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Bo Nix here.
Joe Alt was hurt.
Did he not have an?
I'm joking.
all right.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Breaking
You
news.
you didn't look at me.
well,
in
no,
time
I
for
actually,
it to
I
be a
actually
good
looked
joke.
back at I was like, did I say his name wrong?
No.
Breaking
You
news,
didn't
the-
look back at me.
The
in time.
Browns have submitted a rule
Oh.
that would a proposal that would allow teams to trade draft picks 5 years out instead of 3. So we're trying to trade the next 5 years of our
God.
future
That's
for
not.
someone
Isn't
else.
NBA's like that, right? I feel
I
like
think-
NBA's
NBA,
crazy.
you can go like a
I think you can
decade.
go six, no, I think you can go 6.
Okay.
No.
I mean, there's only 2 rounds.
No. You can go as many years out, but alternating. You can't trade consecutive years unless they're
Interesting. I didn't know that.
unless they're
Asterisks.
like
I know that
not
from
your
2K.
pick. If it's your original pick, you can't trade back-to-back ones, but you could trade like a 2026 yours, someone else's first round you have in 27, then your own 28, and so on and so forth.
That's such an Andrew Barry rule
I think I've-
proposal. Andrew Barry needs to get out of the NFL.
Bro.
I think I've turned that stuff off on 2K before when I'm rebuilding because I
Yeah.
want to trade first rounders back to back.
Oh yeah. Imagine the Browns traded 5 first-round picks for Deshaun. The next
Yeah, that's
5
what
years.
they're trying to get.
That's what they're trying to do next. Next time there's another quarterback.
How does Andrew Barry have a job? All right.
Me, I'm up. The Titans.
Titans number 7, right?
This is such an
Joe Alt would have been a perfect fit here.
Yeah, it would have been. This is such an interesting spot because I'm not in love with the quarterback options.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I don't think JJ or Penix have shown enough through 2 years where I'd take them in the first.
No, like
honestly.
I wouldn't.
But
I
going
would
back
take-
to the
I would-
quarterback redraft, like the guys who should go, their value is like insane.
Yeah.
JJ, I would give a thought. Penix, I would give a thought too. But like, unless there's like somebody late in the draft that I'm not thinking of, I don't like. There's a defensive rookie of the year available. There's 2 All Pros available. Like
Yeah,
3 All Pros with Bowers.
Yeah, man. I think here, like, butterfly effect. I think just like stacking the defense, because like the offense is gonna need a full rebuild.
Get
and I
Will
think-
Levis a weapon. Get
No,
Will Levis
not
a
getting
weapon.
Will Levis a weapon. I think we're gonna take Jared Verse
Yeah.
and then pair him, and then maybe Jeffrey Simmons. Like they traded Jeffrey Simmons, right?
No, he's coming off of an All Pro year and he's still there.
Who'd they get rid of?
They got rid of Harold Landry,
Oh,
who
okay.
went to the Patriots this past year.
Yeah, but so you bring in. No, I thought they just traded with like someone.
They got. Oh, you're thinking of Tavondre Sweat. They
Yeah,
traded
that's who I'm
Sweat
thinking
for
of.
Jermaine Johnson.
Sweat for Jermaine
Yeah.
Johnson. Yeah, so you have Jeffrey Simmons. We pair him with Jared Verse in there now. I think the defense, that front seven's a lot better, and then obviously like they're planning on addressing, some other weapons. Hopefully 2025.
Nice.
I like it. I mean, obviously the top guy on defense, especially at edge, and I think he's obviously proved it more than just 1 year as well.
Well, this was the draft class, if you remember, because of how many quarterbacks and wide receivers went early. There wasn't a defensive player taken until Dallas Turner at like 17 with the Vikings. It was the NFL record for most offensive players to
That's
start
crazy.
a draft.
Yeah, it looks like the first one was Latu with the Colts edge, and then that started the defensive run because Byron Murphy went after, and then Dallas Turner.
All right, Falcons up. This is me. Penix in the first originally.
Do you guys remember my reaction to Penix getting drafted? Josie loves it. I just like folded over there. It was when I was running up and down the stairs recording TikToks.
Yeah, I just with Kirk being there in 2024 too, it makes me feel a little bit better not reaching for Penix as well because they do have a buffer year. It's not like they absolutely needed a quarterback.
And Kirk didn't play bad in 2025, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if Penix isn't there breathing over his shoulder, the Falcons still probably roll forward with Cousins.
Yeah.
Probably.
I might be reaching on this guy too, honestly. I just think that I was so in love with him in college, and the potential is there. I think the Falcons had Raheem Morris, but obviously he didn't see it through. I'm gonna go offense still. I'm gonna get some weapons, and I'm gonna go with Marvin. I'm not giving
Over
up
Brock
on
Bowers.
I'm not giving up
They
on
already have
Marvin.
Pitts.
I think
Who cares? You do two tight ends.
No, I think you pair Marv with Drake. I think that works out better. And I'm
Marv,
still
Drake and Pitts, Bijan.
Sounds like not a
that
lot
sounds
of
like a
speed.
NFL.
Mooney's
Sounds like a
the third.
basketball
Madden.
team, not a.
Are you talking about Maserati? Not enough speed?
No.
Maserati Marv?
Shut
Are we
Gus
kidding?
Johnson. I might be
I
reaching
love
here.
the pick.
I'm not giving up on Marv yet because it's just how can a guy be such a freak?
No, he's
I
good.
know he might
No,
be.
he's good.
You're in college. You're not playing as quality guys, but he was a freak.
He's
I'm
good.
not giving up on
I
him
like
yet.
the
I'm
pick.
gonna go
I
with
ain't
Marv
giving
here.
up on him either. He's only played 2 years. You can't just expect everyone to come out and beat Jamar Chase.
I don't, and I don't think he's bad, but also I think that he is. Out of all the receivers in the draft class, he's what, 4 right
Get
now?
this man a quarterback.
Like
I wouldn't say he's 4.
Malik Neighbors has done more than him.
I'd say, yeah,
BTJ
Brian Thomas
has
started.
done more than him. Lad McConkey,
Wow.
yes, he has. Lad McConkey's done more than him.
From a production standpoint, no doubt. I'm still going off
But-
the hope of him that got him drafted 4th
I
overall.
mean, BTJ had a better first year, but this last year,
I mean, yeah, but that
But
first
Marv
year was
is-
like
yeah.
ridiculous.
some would say
I
it's
don't
worse
disagree.
to have such a good first and then to regress.
I would
so
rather
much.
have-
Than two like
No,
Then
he
two average.
He had
But
1,000 yards as a
mediocre.
rookie, didn't he?
Marvin Harrison?
Yeah.
No, he
Or
didn't.
would he have like 9 something?
He had like 700 both years, I think.
Nah, he definitely had. He was close to 1,000.
I feel like we've had this discussion.
I don't remember.
What's up next while we look at that, Eli?
We've got
He had
the
885.
Naples with the Bears.
He had 885.
All right, so Chicago, they had the chance to do a Dunze again. He has less than 1,500 in his career, so he's averaging less than 750.
Yeah, last year wasn't good, but I mean that whole team wasn't good.
Averaging less than 750 is not that close.
Okay,
to
over a
1,000.
2-year sample size. Catch me when he's played.
He had
6
1,000
years.
yards.
Hey, catch me. He almost did. Catch me.
No, he
catch-
didn't.
He almost. He
115
basically had 900. That's one game for Maserati with a good quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
one game.
All right. Chicago, are they doing a Dunze again?
Could beat Colson Loveland to the punch here.
I was gonna say, I was like, get a guy like Brock in there, maybe all of a sudden.
Caleb doesn't need Ben Johnson anymore.
2025, we go somewhere else other than Loveland. Maybe
Get a
we trade
freaking
back.
pass rusher.
I don't know. I think. Ooh.
Quinyon Mitchell's there, Cooper
I know,
DeJean, a
I'm
couple
looking
of all
at
pros.
some of them. No, I think it makes sense to keep getting weapons for your young quarterback. I think like that's something that really helped his development. And Rome was pretty good his rookie year. I mean, I think it was just a crowded room last
You're doing
year.
Odunze?
I don't know if we're going to Dunze.
Okay, well, you started the lead that way.
Well, I'm just saying, it was a good choice.
Okay.
He did
I
good.
don't think, yeah.
Wish Marv was here. Marv would be a great kid.
Brock Bowers is getting so disrespected right now.
It's
Listen,
still a tight end.
buddy. I mean, he's.
It's so hard to pick like a tight end for the Bears. No, it's just so hard to say it works out. Like I know that's not the 2025. It's a little easier because it's a year removed.
But it's Brock Bowers. It's not like you're
I'm
taking
still
a
a
flyer.
believer in BTJ. I still like Marv
Mhm.
a little better, but I think we'll go BTJ
Okay.
here for the Bears. I do like Odunze a lot.
That's
too.
better, but
I just-
Odunze over Brock would have been crazy.
That's not great.
Yeah.
It happened in real life.
Yeah, and that was stupid.
And
Look
wait,
at
hey, Brock injury prone last
Are we gonna
year.
hear- are we
talking
gonna hear-
about blown kneecaps or what are we talking?
Are we gonna
about?
hear about Rome Odunze getting close to 1,000 yards, and then in reality he had like 600 both years?
That's all right. First of all, that's not true.
661 and 734.
Yeah, he was solid. He was the third receiver. He was. It's not like he was the number one.
He got
target.
out. Dude, they were playing like randos ahead of him.
Nah, dude, they were putting DJ Moore's.
But he's got
bumps up
Brian
on-
Thomas now.
Yeah, Ezekiel was Brian Thomas.
He didn't
That's
pick
better.
Rome at least.
But
I-
he's good. I
don't-
like Rome,
Yeah.
bro. Dude, these guys can be really good
I don't
receivers
think-
and not
All
put
right.
up
All right.
1,800 in year one.
To
and
your
year two.
point. To your point of Rome being wide receiver 3. How's Brian Thomas taken being wide receiver 3?
dude.
That's locker room problems right there.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying, bro. How do you go from 15? What do you have? 1,300? All of a sudden, we're
I know,
bringing
but
in
you
Jacoby
just-
Myers.
Luther-
Luther Burden's
Well, but
better
I'm saying,
than
I
Rome
see,
Odunze.
but that's Luther Burden's better than Rome Odunze.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
without a question.
I don't think so. I mean, you can. have
Luther
it.
came right in and was instant impact.
He didn't even play right away. What are you talking?
He had 800 yards. That's more than Odunze by 100 on either of his seasons.
Yeah, but you're just going off just yards for one season.
Okay, what stat do you want
Are
to
you
go
I'm
off
taking
of?
are you
Luther
looking at the
over
eye
Rome?
test, buddy?
Yeah,
Are we watching
yeah.
the film?
Yeah.
Are we watching?
Are
the
you?
Film? Yes,
Shut up.
I think I watched legitimately over 10 Bears games last year.
That's not watching film, though.
Well, in a way, it is.
No,
I'm
it's not.
watching the games.
You're watching the quarterback drop back to pass.
All right. Are we watching the games? Are you looking
Yeah.
at the eye test?
Yeah.
I think Rome Odunze is a better receiver, and I think Rome Odunze is a true number one.
You would have really thought you just
And-
picked Rome Odunze here.
No, I'm
kinda defending you. You
I'm
didn't need to
making,
pick him
I'm
first.
making the case that I feel that way about BTJ still and Marv, even though like year 2 was not great for any of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that you look at when you watch them during the games. they
Marv,
over-
I don't have a problem with. Over Brock Bowers, I think is a little silly, but
I just
Marv,
don't think it
Marv,
makes
I
sense
think
to
could
me.
be a wide receiver 1.
Well, I still like
Odunze's
Cole Kmet. Like,
holding
I don't-
on as a wide receiver 3. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like
fine.
Cole Kmet's fine though. So like, I wouldn't like. I think their receiver room needed a lot more help to where I would draft that position because they already had like a solid tight end there. I still think it makes sense for them to go tight end here in this draft.
With that said, number 10 is me with the Jets. This is the first time that we've had a trade that was in the draft that we are ignoring. So it was Jets and Vikings. So it should be the Vikings first in real life. We got the Jets here because that trade happened on trade night or draft night, and I'm going with Brock Bowers. Jets. Conklin had a decent year in 2024, but the Jets aren't known for their tight ends. They got some weapons outside. They had Devontae and Garrett and Brees. They had Rodgers still. They ended up going 5-12. I think with Brock, I think that they flirt with
They probably win a few more games.
closer to 500.
Offense scores,
Right.
4 more points a game, and
Right. Maybe not a playoff team, but I could if he gets 1,200 yards, you probably take some away from Garrett, or maybe not 1,200, but close to 1,000. You take some away from Garrett, but yeah, I think that they're closer to 500, and maybe Rodgers. Maybe they get a more competitive quarterback and don't
Yeah.
tank the way they did with
for sure.
Fields at quarterback in that rotation. But I got
Yeah.
Brock Bowers here.
Nice.
Next up was Naples with the
And
Vikings.
The Vikings, and we are gonna go Quinyon Mitchell. I think just that's like one of the get Brian Flores a corner like that in that defense, and it's even more scarier than it already is. Like that's just like, we don't want JJ McCarthy. We don't want 9. 9's not getting it done for Minnesota. Who's quarterbacking for them before that?
Sam Darnold.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that for a
Yeah,
second.
they have a good team this
Maybe,
year.
Maybe we don't draft JJ. We have Sam Darnold. We bring him in without the JJ McCarthy experiment, and maybe Sam's still a Viking.
Resign him, win a Super Bowl.
Win a Super Bowl. Maybe Quinyon Mitchell's the difference between winning the division and having the 1 seed and being the 5th seed playing on the road versus the Rams and getting blown out.
Yeah, for sure.
We got you again up with the Broncos. Originally, Bo Nix, who's not on the board. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one right here, man.
Yeah, because their quarterback room right now is
There's-
Zach Wilson and
You
Jared
need
Stidham.
something, but
Quarterback room is thin.
Just developed Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson with Sean Payton.
Hey, you know what? BYU, he was looking kind of good.
Daniel Jones.
I'm a Zach Wilson guy.
Oh, man, I don't even know where we at.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't pity.
No Bo Nix. I would
No,
take him
Bo Nix
anyway
picks.
because he stinks.
You wouldn't take Bo Nix
I
here.
would take him anyway. He sucks. I hate him.
I
I think they get another guy paired with Bonita. I like Latu here. He had some production with the Colts. I like him. Got good length, good size. I don't know what his stats were, but I remember him
I
being
think
pretty
he's
decent.
been like 5 sacks a year kind of guy,
I
so
remember him
not
being
bad.
pretty decent.
but-
You pair him on the other side of Bonito, just keep bolstering the defense. Maybe we take a year off, 2025. We look to reevaluate quarterback.
I mean, people forget Denver was ahead of schedule year 1. Nobody was really picking them as a playoff team, and then they weren't even awful against Buffalo in the wild card round. So
Yeah.
This is you, Hayden, with the Raiders. Brock off the board.
yeah, so almost similar to Naples. Like roster's terrible. You need a quarterback bad, but as I've laid out, I'm not a JJ or a Penix guy. Let's see what we got cooking here.
Ricky Pearsall?
I would go Lad ahead of him.
Yeah.
Best player available, I think, without a question, is Cooper DeJean. Just due to the versatility. Plus, nobody else has an All-Pro to their name from this draft class that's still available. As we pull it up here, like Byron Murphy had we were talking about how many sophomore slumps there were. Byron Murphy was one of the few guys to actually improve in year 2 quite mightily. Dunze could go. He could go with Lad McConkey. I think we're gonna go DeJean though, just because best player available without question. And there's not a lot of blue chip guys. It's Max Crosby and would have been Brock Bowers, but they're both gone. I don't want to reach for a quarterback here, so let's get another blue chip talent in Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, first guy that's non-first rounder getting drafted, but definitely fair. Yeah, I mean, they've got a long way to go. I can kind of picture it happening. Like I can see him in a Raiders uniform,
Yeah.
a little swaggy. It would be a little heartbreaking not seeing him in an Eagles uniform though. I think that's just that Kelly green on him looks good.
He would have looked good if he just stayed in black and
The
yellow,
exciting
but
ones.
Yeah,
he would have.
yeah, but he doesn't have like a brother on the team, so the Steelers can't draft him. Isn't that like a prerequisite?
We'll trade for Riley Moss. There's another guy. I don't want to say because I'm hoping he comes back around to me elsewhere. That would be a pretty good fit. But who's next?
I'm up with the Saints, another team that I hate them. like they're so bad.
I don't
They're
even know
they're a
this guy
mess.
They originally drafted. I'm not
Talise
even-
Fuaga,
I'm not
he-
familiar with him.
From what I read, had a decent year this past year. I'm tempted to stay with him because I don't think there's a point in getting a weapon if you're the Saints. I'm thinking I think they need to build the front. looking at some of the edge guys, I think I go Latu here. If you didn't take him, Cooper DeJean, I probably wouldn't have went. Maybe with my next pick, but probably not here just because, again, I think they just need to build the front. I'm going to stick with their original pick here with Talise Fuaga. Again, I just think that they're so far away. I don't think anybody that they're drafting anytime soon is seeing an actual playoff run.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's a better tackle available than Fuaga?
I would probably do what you did. Olu Fashionu's there, who hasn't been awful. But no, I would probably stay the course too if you're going to go tackle.
Next up, we got me with the Colts. Another one where my pick was stolen. But I do think that they need an edge.
Chop Robinson.
I know. It
Stay
feels like a
on.
homer pick. He's had a couple decent seasons. He's had some production on the edge, and it's not like the Dolphins have a great team.
And better than Dallas Turner.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go with Chop here. A little bit of a homer pick, but
Chop Rob.
we are
We've got the Sea Chickens up next.
all you.
I think we're going to stay with Byron Murphy. Wait, right? You didn't take him?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I know you talked about him. I think he just makes sense. I mean, interior defensive line, I think was a big part of that like revamp starting on the D line that we've seen this past year, where they brought in Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, brought in some guys to revamp that front four.
I think he's the only him on the Saints. I think would be all right. Just to hey, we need to bolster up the defensive line. So I thought about it there, but no, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, for sure. Almost no-brainer. Because like we've been talking about the butterfly effect, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. And
Yeah.
the Seattle has a chance to get a key piece to somebody that helped them win a Super Bowl just 1 year later.
Oh yeah. And then who's the original next pick here?
We got it was the Vikings taking Dallas. This is going to be Hayden with the Jags.
So BTJ's off the board. So McConkey makes a lot of sense here. There are other options. I actually forgot about a few. We're gonna do Lad here because pair Lad can basically be the BTJ of this year.
Back-to-back, right?
He could be the BTJ in that offense. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
You're up
I
again.
like that.
You're up again with the Bengals. Marius Mims originally.
Yeah, not gonna do that.
Nah, come on.
No.
Troy Fatano.
So I'm not a huge Fatano guy. Josie is. Shocker, because he wears black and yellow.
Terry and Arnold, maybe.
I'm going to go a guy that we haven't actually mentioned yet by name. I don't think that he's as good as Byron Murphy, but his production in totality over the first 2 years of his career has actually been better than Byron Murphy. I'm going to go Braden Fisk here. Obviously, Cincinnati's historically bad at defense, so really anybody can't hurt. Secondary definitely makes sense as well, but Baltimore's going to be trying to run the ball with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, so Braden Fisk.
Solid.
Next up, we got Naples. No Jared Verse, but he's got a pick for the Rams.
Pick for the Rams. Yeah, man. That's tough.
Yeah, you're getting some hard ones.
I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stay on the defensive side of the ball, but we're gonna address the secondary. We know that that's been an issue for them over the last couple of years. We're gonna go ahead and take Nate Wiggins. I think he's got the profile of a number one. I think he's honestly shown progress from year one to year two. I just like him as a player. I think he's got a lot of potential. Probably more so than some of the other guys. I know Terry Arnold's on the board. Kamari Lassiter's on the board. Kool-Aid McKinstry, safety, on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's some nice late round, not late round I guess, but late first round, early second round.
Well,
corners.
it's still so early in these guys' career where even if they haven't panned out yet, you can make the argument for them. Like, oh, I like this guy in the draft. Maybe if we just make this a better team fit here, it'll work out.
Next up, we got Hayden with his Steelers.
So
Bro.
obviously, I would have loved DeJean here, but also I didn't want to cheese it too much. Plus, he probably would have gone anyway. Especially the Bengals should have grabbed him.
I would have just taken him if he was on the board.
Yeah.
For names.
Which that would have been a heck of a fit too. DeJean would fit anywhere. That's the beauty of having somebody that can play all 5 spots. The guy I was talking about for the Raiders that also would have been a good fit was Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier is the lone bright spot on that Steelers offensive line. We're just going to do that over a team that has a history of historic centers. Keeps that going here.
Nice.
So sort of first time we've had. I don't think we had this last week either, where it's like the same pick but not in the same team.
Yeah,
some
because
different-
Seattle got butchered if I remember correctly, right? Because didn't we have multiple Seahawks go in
Get
like the
taken
top
for-
25?
Yeah, which I guess that's what happens when you want to sue. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Philly didn't even have the chance to sniff DeJean and Quignon.
Right. All right, I'm up with the Dolphins. Chop is gone. Chop went to the Colts. This is another team that I think is pretty far away, but in 2024, I think they had a little more hope than they do now. Taron Armstead, 33 years old at the time. Don't love that. Austin Jackson only started 8 games that year. I'm going to go with tackle here, and I'm going to go with Olu, another Penn State pick for me. Olu's had a decent start. I think he got a lot of hype out of college.
Was getting mocked like in the top 3
Right.
for a while.
Even in before he announced he was coming back in 2023, he was rumored to be a top 10 pick. Then he went back. Still ended up, I guess, just outside the top 10. But Olu on the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are far away, but they probably didn't think that yet. Obviously, picking at number 21, they had a decent year prior, but we got Hayden with the Eagles.
Okay.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Well, obviously not Quignon Mitchell because he's gone. And pressure's on because you have to find somebody who can at least come somewhat close to replicating what Quignon and DeJean did, simply because Philly won the Super Bowl this year. We could go one of the quarterbacks because Jalen Hurts is just trash.
Michael Penix over
Super Bowl
Jalen Hurts.
MVP, by the way.
So is Malcolm Smith. Whatever.
Malcolm Smith was a dog.
We're gonna go a corner here. A corner who another guy was good in year 1, but just became great in year 2. Kamari Lassiter, a guy who I actually was not high on. He's a little bit more of a lengthy corner. Not known for his speed.
Took it right from Naples.
Vikings were about to double down.
Another cornerback, early second round. Again, there were just so many, probably in that like 20,
No.
30 pick range. Yeah, I mean, this is another one where I think fit. You go and play for the Texans defense, it's going to work out for you. So that probably helped him. But it's the Eagles defense, so it's not like he's going to some slop team.
Yeah, you still have Darius Slay there. So
I'm up with the Vikings, right?
Yep, this
Their
was
original pick.
Jags, Brian Thomas Jr., originally from the Vikings.
We were going to go Kamari Lassiter, pair him with Quignon, and really just retool that secondary. Probably allow 7 points a game on defense.
yeah, because you still have Byron Murphy at corner, Harrison Smith's there, Josh
then
Metellus.
we
That would have been
have-
ridiculous.
Well,
Sounds like my Madden team we just made
Yeah.
a couple days
been
ago.
getting dirty out there. Dang, that's really where I wanted to go.
Still some
I-
corners left.
Yeah, Terrion Arnold's out there. He's had some penalty issues. I still like him as a player. I just don't know if we'd be willing to take him there. You know what? Let's go ahead. I like this guy. I like Tavondre Sweat here. I like moving him up the board, getting some interior Minnesota.
I don't know why the Titans traded him.
Yeah, I think it was just getting Robert Saleh guys. Saleh and Jermaine Johnson have the
Yeah.
history together.
You're up again with the Cowboys. Originally Lions, Terry and Arnold. Or now it is originally the Cowboys, but it was a trade with the Lions and draft day.
Yeah, and I think Terry and Arnold make sense for them. Just taking getting a corner there. I mean, their secondary is not super deep. I believe Trayvon Diggs was still on the team at this time, maybe, but I know at least last year, like, he got released, so. Jerron Bland's been injury prone. He's been all right. I mean, they need help. They need a lot of depth there.
This is who I was going to take with the Packers.
Graham Barton.
Yeah.
I never heard of this dude, Darius Robinson.
Oh, he's so bad.
Yeah, I bet. I just never heard of this guy.
Well, you're picking for the Cardinals in a few, so
Yeah,
you get to rewrite
we
history.
will not be taking Darius Robinson.
All right. Packers. I kind of want a weapon here. Is Rome still there?
Oh, Rome's there.
All right, I'm gonna go with Rome here.
Stole my pick.
Nice. You stole mine. I steal yours. If you didn't take Taryn, he would have been yours later. But I don't know. I think Packers still need some weapons. Looking at 2014,
No.
you got Romeo, you got Christian Watson, and then Wicks. So it's not a terrible receiver room. But you gotta give the GOAT Jordan Love some more weapons out there.
Get him a true number one. All those 2s and 3s roaming around.
Packers, great team, even better now. Right, Naples?
Wouldn't say great team.
Next up, we got Hayden with the Bucks, Graham Barton.
Graham Barton's not a bad player. I actually remember talking to a friend of the show, David, about him. I actually wanted the Steelers to grab him. I liked the athletic ability to. He was a college left tackle, and he was going to become a center. I also like Jackson Powers Johnson. Box. And then, Eli, you did end up grabbing Olu, right?
Yeah. Lou went to the Dolphins.
The Cardinals actually up next.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a trade, but that was before they must have traded like before. Yeah, because we talked about that was the Will Anderson deal.
So I was going to try and avoid this. Another one of the guys, kind of a recurring theme, incredible rookie year, just didn't do much, whether due to injury or otherwise. We're going to do what I did here with Zach Frazier. We're going to pick Bucky Irving again. Bucky was incredible
Where did
in
he
year
go
one.
in the original draft?
Third round, I think.
Ooh.
So he gets picked a couple rounds earlier. If you have a running back that can truly make a difference and your team as a whole is pretty good, I don't mind drafting a running back in the first round. And Tampa Bay's roster is overall pretty solid, so we're going to keep Bucky there in the redraft.
Yeah, I like that. We got Naples with the Cardinals. Your boy, Darius Robinson.
Yeah, I think we'll pass on him. Trying to see if there's anyone that I might like better. Bucky was actually a 4th round pick. I mean, their O-line is one of their problems. Best available is probably Tyler Guyton. I'll just go Tyler Guyton for the Cardinals. Pair him up with Paris Johnson.
Josie's going to be pissed that Troy Fatanu hasn't gone yet.
He's a guard, isn't he? I don't really want a guard.
Fatanu, he's a tackle.
Oh, well, it says guard on his thing. So his pre-draft analysis. So that's what I'm going off of.
Naples running it back. This was Bills Chiefs. Chiefs took Xavier Worthy, but we're going with the Bills here.
Whew. And oh man, this is tough. I mean, Ricky Pearsall, he probably doesn't get shot if he's in Buffalo.
He is begging you to take him.
Probably doesn't get shot. I mean,
He is begging you to take
Oh,
him.
that
here.
might
wow,
be-
you might
that was-
save.
That was
not
the
a
best
life,
one-liner in a while.
but You might
you
save.
know, maybe we
That was
just
good.
go ahead and take Keon Coleman in the first, make him a first round pick. He plays a little better. I'm still not out on Keon Coleman, man. That dude's good. He just everyone's telling him how bad he is. He's just like
The owner's actively trying to get rid of him in press conferences.
and like he's still on the team. Like that's like when Tua's like, yeah, man, when every day you just hear everyone telling you how bad you are, and it starts to weigh on you. This just everyone's Keon Coleman. Man,
I guess.
The Buffalo take here. You know what? I mean, they could use some defense. I mean, they went. I mean, they obviously ended up moving back and taking Keon Coleman, and that obviously didn't work out so far. I'm not in love with Leggett or Pearsall. I just don't think that they're ones. I mean, if you're getting drafted in the first round, like, I feel like you should be a 1, or at least like a 1A or 1B.
High end too. Yeah.
So, give me Kool-Aid McKinstry. Let's get another guy on the back end of that secondary. You know, maybe they'll not let up 30 in another playoff game. Every time they play, it's just like, that's the problem. The defense in the playoffs is always letting up 30. It's like they're allergic to getting a stop. Josh Allen plays his best ball, all of a sudden, doesn't matter. That's why Sean McDermott's going. Supposed to be a defensive guy.
I think.
They let Bo Nix hang 30 on him this last year. Like, what are we doing?
I think before, if you would have told me Kool-Aid goes in this redraft, I'd be a little surprised, but I think it's fair because of how many corners we have taken. I think I'm just now realizing how deep this cornerback class was.
It really is. Because, like, if this was real, like, imagine all the same picks happen, like, and if it was just Buffalo redrafting, like, getting, like, Nate Wiggins or Lasser here would be, like, awesome for them.
All right, we got Hayden with the Lions, or it was Tyler Guyton to the Cowboys here, but we got the Lions with the original pick.
Yeah, Kalen Bullock. I'm not as high on him as I am. What's his face? Lassiter, but another guy who I think he had a Pro Bowl this year. I'm kind of intrigued. We're gonna do something. Detroit took noticeable steps back. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn leaving was a huge part of that, especially Ben Johnson. I think that the departures of Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler, both Ragnow through retirement and Zeitler headed over to Tennessee in 2025, played just as crucial of a role as losing both coordinators. You have Taylor Decker and you have Penei Sewell there. So I'm going to do a move that can help you win right now. Naples just hinted at it, Troy Fautanu. We're going to put Fautanu in at one of the guards. He can start over Graham Glasgow on the right side. And then if you still end up departing ways with Taylor Decker, we'll still move Penei Sewell to the left side and Fautanu can slide into the right.
I like it. Lions coming off that NFC Championship game, so just looking to just get better, best available.
Replenish the offensive line because as good as Philly was behind a historic offensive line and a great running back, Detroit was the scariest team in 2024 and 2023 running the football. Like, it didn't look fair. So hopefully can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, I'm up with the Ravens. This is Wiggins here. Naples took from me. I'm not going to reach. I think that was obviously a good pick. I'm not going to reach for another corner here, I don't think.
Get your boy Darius.
I kind of want to do... I was like, who are you talking about? And then I looked up. Yeah, Darius Robinson.
Keon Coleman's on the board.
I'm thinking about doing something similar that Hayden just did.
Like Wiggins' position or whatever.
Yeah, their tackles are good. J.C. Latham has had a disappointing start-ish, but he's a top 10 pick who hasn't been atrocious for a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think situation maybe helps out a little bit.
Yeah.
Blocking for Lamar. I'm going to take just quality here. He's the highest guy the guy that was picked highest that hasn't been picked yet. So I'm going to go with J.C. Latham here. And maybe do some shuffling on the offensive line for a year or two because Ronnie Stanley's getting old, so eventually he can slot in there.
Yeah.
They ended up taking Roger Rosengarten, who ended up starting for them. It was a rookie too, so maybe that changes as well.
No, I was gonna say I think it was him, but it was actually Daniel Falale or whatever. I don't know if you guys remember the clip when Derrick Henry's getting told by Eric DaCosta that he made the Pro Bowl, and he's going through the rest of the guys, and they get to Daniel Falale as like an alternate, and Derrick goes, "Really?" Like,
That's gotta hurt.
yeah.
All right, pick number 31. We got the 49ers. That's me. We got Ricky here.
There's a banger pick here.
Poor guy.
Serious. No, not him. There's a banger pick here.
At receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Worthy? Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
It's a banger pick.
Yeah.
Put him in Shanahan's system.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't worked out in Reed's system.
Yeah.
Typically, I would agree with you, but
Yeah, I just mean, like, they'll do a lot more of, like, that motion stuff. The Chiefs normally don't do a ton of that. Like, where they have a lot of, like, motion or end-around type stuff. Like,
I mean, compared to the Niners.
yeah, compared to the Niners, that's what I'm saying. But, like, I feel
Any
like
team compared to
you
the
get him,
Niners.
if you were to go that way, like,
do you remember
Take
our
the top off the
conversation
defense.
about Xavier Worthy this past offseason?
no, I don't.
I was talking about his physique, disagreeing with you that I don't think he could ever be a 1, just because, like, his physique,
Did I say he was, like, a 1?
you said that he could be in the future.
I mean, potentially. I think
Yeah.
he could get there.
When I think the Niners, I think of big physical guys who
That's
are
true.
just
You
going to
want
run, like, thick people. Like, Deebo Samuel's thick. Xavier Worthy's whatever the opposite of thick is. Like,
slim.
Xavier Worthy needs to hit the squat rack. Like,
Mm.
so, I don't know, like, because I agree. I actually was thinking the same thing. Like, it's fun because that I like doing that in the redraft, pairing, like, a super athletic, fun prospect with a smart offensive mind. But Worthy gives me more hesitation just because he already has been with a historic offensive mind and a historic quarterback, and it hasn't really panned out.
To that point, that's where it's kind of hard to balance. Like,
Keelan Cole.
Xavier Worthy has had more production, and when you said it, I was leaning him. And then you think of, to Hayden's point, like you have Keon Coleman, that thicker receiver. Maybe he plays better.
Like
And then you
Jawan
also
Jennings,
got- that's what I'm thinking.
like,
You
thick.
have Xavier Leggett.
Ooh.
I kind of like him
Country.
here
I like
over Keon.
Big country.
Right. I don't really. Yeah, he has a fun voice too. I don't love. I don't really want to. I want to stay away from Keon for locker room
Stay away from
reasons. I'm gonna go with Xavier Leggett here.
Xavier Leggett makes it into the first round.
And rounding out round 1, we've got Hayden with the Chiefs. It was the Panthers with Xavier Leggett in real life though.
There's actually a guy, another receiver that I actually like a lot.
That's
I
not
think-
Keon
And
or
I
Xavier.
think he should have. I think he should have went. I remember this draft. I remember he
Are you
should.
talking about McMillan?
Nah, I remember this guy should have been a first round pick.
Oh,
Coming out.
I know who you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Because I was playing. He's talking about A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what Naples. What we did a couple weeks ago is we kind of went through any surprises, any guys that should have gone, and this was like A.D. Mitchell was standing out to me like huge blinking letters because we did have that. Like people were shocked how far he how far he fell. So far, like. His rookie season, he showed flashes, but he was playing with Anthony Richardson, so it
only so
didn't
many
get hit.
opportunities you're gonna get.
And then he clearly wasn't well liked in the locker room because they ship him out to the Jets, of all
Then
places.
he starts hooping. Listen, he had a couple games there at the end. He started to look. Now that I mean, it's the Jets. So
A.D. Mitchell's intriguing. I'm
He
going
does
to...
have type 1 diabetes, so
you pair him up with Mahomes though,
he has type 1 diabetes. I don't
What's
know
it?
if you're going.
bro.
First round. That might be part of it.
Mahomes is gonna get him right. With Keon Coleman.
Is he? Has Mahomes gotten Xavier Worthy right?
I'm going to go with a surefire guy, a guy who has an argument to have gone sooner. I'm going to go with Kalen Bullock here. Take a Pro Bowl safety. You lose Brian Cook a year later anyway. The secondary's kind of been in a awry. You lose Jalen Watson. You lose Trent McDuffie. Let's get a surefire piece in there rather than playing around with fire with A.D. Mitchell. So,
A.D. Mitchell. That dude was different at Texas.
do you two want to run through the redraft and then we'll do takeaways?
First, all right, we got Caleb Williams, Quarterback stays with the Bears. Same with Jaden Daniels and Drake May. So first three keep the same. Receiver, Cardinals stay with receiver, but go Malik instead of Marv. Joe Alt stays to the Chargers. We got Bo Nix quarterbacking the Giants. That's probably the biggest butterfly effect pick that we have probably in the draft because of how things shape up with Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
We got Jared Verse to the Titans, the first big offense to defense. They drafted J.C. Latham originally. I like it. We got Marv, bit of a stretch by myself, to the Falcons. But Falcons get some nasty weapons for one more year with Kirk, maybe more. We got BTJ goes to the Bears rather than Rome. Brock Bowers falls to 10 to the Jets instead of Olu. Quinyon Mitchell, argument for best defensive player with Jared Verse, goes to the Vikings rather than J.J. McCarthy, so they don't waste a pick on a first-round quarterback. Got Laiatu Latu at defensive end for the Broncos rather than Bo Nix, who they kind of got screwed in this draft. Cooper DeJean for the Raiders. Talise Fuaga goes to the Saints, same pick as their original. We got Chop Robinson to the Colts to replace their pick with Laiatu Latu, who wasn't available. Byron Murphy sticking with the Seahawks. You want to read off the rest?
Yep. Then, with the Jaguars having this initial pick rather than the Vikings, who took Dallas Turner in this draft, they take Ladd Conkey. The Bengals go ahead and take Braden Fisk instead of wasting it on Amarius Mims. The Rams go ahead and take Nate Wiggins because Jared Verse is off the board. Steelers take Zach Frazier. They did get him later in the draft, but they take him instead of, Fanu?
Fatanu,
Dolphins go ahead and take Olu Fashanu, Chop Robinson off the board. Eagles with Quinyon off the board take Kamari Lassiter. Vikings with this pick, instead of taking the original Jaguars pick of BTJ, the Vikings are on the clock here and they take Devondre Sweat. Cowboys on the clock here instead of the Lions, who initially picked Terrion Arnold. The Cowboys take Terrion Arnold.
It's kind of interesting.
Packers, instead of taking offensive tackle, they go Rome Odunze to get the Jordan Love a true one. Bucks go ahead, instead of taking center, they take Bucky Irving here in the first, who's probably worth a first-round grade. Cardinals, instead of taking this nobody I've never heard of, they take Tyler Guyton. Bills on the clock instead of the Chiefs, who took Worthy. Without the trade, they go ahead and take Coley McKinstry. Lions on the clock here instead of Dallas, who initially took Guyton, are taking Troy Fatanu. Ravens, Nate Wiggins off the board. They take J.C. Latham, offensive tackle, help bolster that up. Niners on the clock instead of Ricky got shot in the leg. They take Xavier Legette.
Which might have saved.
Which could have potentially just saved Ricky Pearsall from getting shot, butterfly effect. And with the last pick, instead of the Panthers having that pick, it's the Chiefs, and they go ahead and take Caleb Bullock, safety, just add another guy into that rotation.
Can we, based on this Ricky Pearsall conversations, can we find like the most controversial players draft and like try to change some lives here? Like maybe Aaron Hernandez doesn't go to the
Hernandez.
Pats. And
Listen, Aaron Hernandez asked to be traded for that specific reason, and Belichick said no.
He never gets caught up.
So maybe we get like, maybe some guys don't like go down the cocaine route at some point.
Need to put Hernandez in like Green Bay, somewhere where there's
where
nothing
would be
going on.
OJ? What if OJ is not a Bill?
OJ has to get
OJ's
recruited
doing
somewhere
OJ.
other than
OJ's
USC.
doing OJ.
OJ if he didn't have a wife and kids.
Yeah. Where'd he meet his wife? Maybe we can I don't know. I think
if he grew up in a different city.
we could make teams better, but we could change some lives here with this redraft.
I agree.
For sure.
Who else was in Aaron Hernandez's draft? Anybody fun?
2010. So yeah, AB, Emmanuel Sanders,
Well, AB was fine for a while. And
Gronk,
he took a wrong
Demarius Thomas, who passed away.
Dude,
Maybe he doesn't. How did he even die?
Ndamukong Suh's a punk.
I think he offed himself. I think there's some CT.
DT?
I'm pretty
CT.
sure.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
DT,
you're saying
DT was
DT,
CT.
Des Bryant. Not that
Nah,
he's not that crazy, but he's kind of nutty. Gronk, I don't think we're changing.
No. No.
Put Gronk in New Orleans would be awesome. New England's almost like a
With
tame place
Breezy?
for
With Breeze? Gronk in Philadelphia.
Miami.
with Andy Reid.
Gronk in Philadelphia.
Scumbag city. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to change some lives. 2010.
Put Tim
Yeah, there's
Tebow in like the ghetto rather than
And the
Denver.
with the Raiders, Tim Tebow with the Raiders. Yeah, he'd be like evangelical.
Mm.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring some people to Christ in Vegas, or I guess
Oakland at that time.
Oakland at the time.
He could double up.
Greg Hardy's in that draft.
Tebow could play baseball at the Oakland
Yeah.
Coliseum
Yeah.
too. He could double up.
All right, so 2010.
Any surprises or takeaways that you guys have?
I don't think I really have any surprises other than how far y'all let Rome drop.
Takeaways, corners,
A
much
lot of
deeper
corners.
than
A lot of corners in this show.
than I thought going in. Respect to the corners.
And we already kind of knew this, but like, if teams need a quarterback, they will maybe not always reach in like their terms, because if they like a guy, they don't think they're reaching. But in like the eyes of us, we're like, yeah, that's a reach on like a Penix or a McCarthy. Like,
The Broncos got. I wouldn't have faulted you to take Penix to the Broncos just because
Here's
the
why.
Broncos got so screwed.
My next quarterback wasn't Penix or
Rattler.
Well, I like
Joe
Rattler,
Milton.
but no, it was Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
Like, and
I think
that's
I'd
not
take him.
that's not because I'm a Joe Milton believer per se, but I like
upside
at that point
upside versus like
there are four hits in this draft class at quarterback. We saw all four of them go in the top 6.
Yeah.
After that, the fifth quarterback, Joe Milton, who arguably has as much talent as any of them. I'm taking a flyer there, especially Denver, Sean Payton. I'm not saying any team could have taken him and it worked out. The Giants and Joe Milton would not be good. But Joe Milton with Sean Payton, yeah, could see worse. Bears that feel good.
no Brett staying.
Slightly surprised Pearsall didn't go in the first.
Yeah, but
I don't think he's really
I like
done.
the receivers that
He was-
we took.
He's
He
alright.
was okay in year 2, nothing special. And there are injury concerns. Dallas Turner, who was picked very high.
Didn't even get drafted.
Yeah, he's another guy that's kind of opposite of the typical for this draft class. He had a much better year 2 than year 1.
I think he's the highest guy that didn't get drafted outside of the two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The one thing that I don't regret it because it's literally the last thing I did, but you look at it, the Chiefs, what was their downfall in the Super Bowl this year? Now, granted, they're not going to be playing Philly probably because Philly doesn't have Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean, but looking ahead, it was the pass rush. So I would have liked to get a tackle there. With that said, I just didn't like the tackle options that were there. Marius Mims probably would have been the next best guy. And at that point, I'm glad I went best player available and grabbed a Pro Bowl safety instead. But that's the one thing. Kansas City, the one thing that held them back from winning the Super Bowl and three-peating was offensive line play. They had to move their all-pro guard to a
They're gonna get
tackle.
wiped
Did they have some
anyway.
injuries too, though? I feel like they had some injuries. Because I feel like
There was an injury that led Tooney to have to go to left tackle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so they had to move a bunch of people around too. It just wasn't good.
It would have been ideal if Fatanu or Fashanu could have gone there.
Yeah.
Fatanu more of a right tackle, but even that. But then Fashanu would have been the ideal. But yeah, what did you think of Joe Milton? I know you're not a
I
huge
would
quarterback
take-
guy.
I hate JJ, so
Oh,
sure.
I was gonna
but
say I hate Joe.
So
Milton.
you
I don't like Joe Milton either.
you would have gone Penix,
Penix.
Milton, JJ.
9.
Rattler's the only other
Now,
guy.
what if you could
Over
guarantee that
JJ?
you're always getting 9 instead
Probably
of
that's
JJ?
probably what I'm doing.
You're going. So
If you're getting 9 instead of JJ,
I'm
you're
going.
taking
Yeah, I'm
9.
going Penix for sure. Penix, big gap. Milton, small gap. JJ, small gap. Rattler.
Naples, what are you doing?
Quarterback rankings?
Yeah, out of
Outside
the
of the
guys that
four.
didn't go.
So
So Milton, Penix, JJ, and Rattler.
I did not like Penix coming out of college. I was like, yeah, this dude's not going to be a pro. I just didn't really like his tape in Washington.
So Milton one.
I think JJ would still probably be above Milton,
I don't think any of them are first rounders, but
Yeah.
I think JJ, just because of the success, the winning, I mean, kind of similar. Like, they didn't throw the ball a ton, but I think similar. Like, obviously Mendoza did more, but like similar type beat of like.
I'm not
Just a
necessarily
lot of winning.
completely out on JJ.
Yeah.
I'm taking. I prefer JJ over Penix.
Yeah, so like, I think
I'm not a-
JJ,
I'm full out on JJ.
and then like I think Milton's just upside, just his
Mm-hmm.
arm, his athleticism, just the things that he can do. Probably Penix next, and then Rattler. Rattler's not. I don't even know why he got drafted.
No.
That dude stinks.
The guy I'm taking ahead of all the quarterbacks we just listed is a guy that we talked about a little bit in the last redraft, Quinn Ewers. And I forget who I was arguing with Josie that Quinn Ewers was better than.
he didn't end up not. He didn't end up going, but I think we.
Yeah,
talked
but
about it.
whatever quarterback Josie picked, I was like, I kind of prefer Ewers.
It's not Shuck, because Shuck went pretty. I think I took Shuck early.
It was Shuck, Ward early, Dart went early. Then who's the next guy? Shador?
No,
I think it
maybe.
was. I think it was Shador.
Yeah,
I don't know who else it would have been. But yeah, cause if you guys remember back, if Quinn Ewers would have came out this draft class, which a lot of people thought he was going to, he's going 13th overall to the Raiders. So we would have seen even more quarterbacks.
Poor guy.
And then Brock Bowers might
Poor
fall all
guy.
the way down to Indy. Talk about butterfly effect there. Arch Manning's playing at Texas a year sooner. The
Arch.
Raiders have a franchise quarterback,
It wasn't
and then
Milrow, right? You didn't take Milrow.
no, but I think I made the same argument with
Yeah,
Milrow.
I think
I think
Shador.
Milrow. I was high on Milrow and Ewers. So,
Would you take Shador in a redraft?
what kind of question is
2025?
that?
What did you not?
Late first round, easy.
Absolutely.
No, I think
Dude.
we knew the answer to that one.
Yeah, I just
you-
wanted a
you're just-
confirmation.
All right. This has been
Everything he did in
Are
college.
you taking him
just-
over Shuck?
Yes. Everything Shador did in college, he should have been a first round pick. If you want to look at stats or production alone, he should have been a first round.
I don't disagree.
He rubbed some people the wrong way in interviews.
So
maybe
should
maybe he
Stetson
didn't carry
Bennett,
himself.
then.
Maybe he didn't. Well,
It's
Stetson
there's the
Bennett didn't have
difference.
nearly the stats that Shador.
All right. This has been the second short podcast. We'll see you next week.
That's true.
Yeah, sure.